Good morning, students. Okay, in continuation of last video, conformational isomerism of cyclohexane. What is the cyclohexane? Yes, this is the planar form of cyclohexane. Planar form of cyclohexane. By the rotation of this carbon-carbon single bond, here carbon-carbon single bonds are there. By the rotation of this carbon-carbon single bond, we will get the two important isomers. Such isomers we call as conformational isomers. Okay, by the rotation of this carbon-carbon single bonds, we get both form of cyclohexane and chain form of cyclohexane. We get here two important forms of cyclohexane. One is both form of cyclohexane and second one is chain form of cyclohexane. Just here I am drawing both form. This is for example, first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth, fifth, sixth. Here also same. This is the first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and sixth carbon. This is the both form. Every carbon has hydrogen. Every carbon has the hydrogen. How many hydrogens? Two hydrogens. Here we have the two hydrogens. Here we have the two hydrogens. Every carbon has two hydrogens. Okay, here in both form, first and here 2 carbon atoms are present above the plane, arranged above the plane, and here 2, 3. And here 5, 6. 2, 3, 5, 6. All these carbons are arranged below the plane. Below the plane. This is the just arrangement of all carbon atoms in a cyclohexane both form. And here these two hydrogens are called black pole hydrogen. These two hydrogens are called black pole hydrogen. And here first carbon and fourth carbon, these two are near to each other. And here these black pole hydrogens are having eclipsed attraction forces. These black pole hydrogens have eclipsed attraction forces. Okay, why these two are near to each other like this? These two are near to each other. Okay, have the eclipsed attraction forces. Okay, such type of attraction forces we called torsional strain. This we called as torsional strain. That we simply called as torsional strain. Here we have the torsional strain due to eclipsed attraction forces between black pole hydrogens. And here it has more energy, that is nearly 27 kilojoules for more energy, so it is less stable. Okay, that's why it is less stable. And here chain form of cyclohexane. Chain form of cyclohexane means here I am drawing chain like this. This is the first carbon, this is the second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon, fifth carbon, and sixth carbon. In this first carbon, third carbon, fifth carbon, 3 carbon atoms are present above the plane. above the plane. And here second carbon, fourth carbon, sixth carbon arranged in below the plane. Arranged in below the plane. And here every carbon has two hydrogens. Here hydrogen, hydrogen. Here also hydrogen, hydrogen. Here also hydrogen, hydrogen. Here also hydrogen, hydrogen. Here also hydrogen, hydrogen. Okay, this hydrogen is called axial hydrogen. This hydrogen is called equatorial hydrogen. Okay, that means chain form contains two types of hydrogens. One is axial hydrogen. One is axial hydrogen. Second one equatorial hydrogen. Okay, the different carbon atoms will have the different types of hydrogen. Here above the plane hydrogen is called axial. Below the plane hydrogen is called equatorial. Here above the plane is called equatorial. Below the plane hydrogen is called axial. Okay, here above the plane axial is equatorial. Here axial, equatorial. Here above the plane axial, equatorial. Here equatorial, this one is axial. Okay, see, A means HA means axial hydrogen, HE means equatorial hydrogen. These are the different hydrogens, okay, of this chain form. And here, see, this is the first carbon, this is the fourth carbon. First carbon and fourth carbon far away from each other. And here, this axial hydrogen, these both axial hydrogens are near to each other, so have eclipse attraction forces that we called torsional strain. Okay, here fourth carbon and first carbon both are far away from each other. So it is contained no attraction forces, no repulsive forces between two hydrogen atoms. So this chain form is more stable, and here energy is 6 kilojoules per mole. 6 kilojoules per mole. Due to these reasons, chain form is more stable. Chain form of cyclohexane is more stable than both form. Chain form of cyclohexane is more stable than both form. Why? Because only eclipse attraction forces or eclipse repulsive forces present on the both form at first carbon and fourth carbon between two black pole hydrogens. Okay, this is about the just conformational isomerism of cyclohexane. Okay, conformational isomerism of cyclohexane. We have different types of fist boat is there. Okay, envelope is there. Different cyclopentane conformational isomers also there. Fist boat, half chain. Okay, envelope model. Okay, planar model, complete planar model. We have different structure, but not all present in our syllabus in the point of view or chain point of view or any point of view. This is about the important discussion of the conformational isomerism. And here, this theory can be explained by famous scientists Sache and Moore. That's why this is also called Sache-Moore theory of conformational isomerism of cyclohexane. This is also one of the important topic of the conformational isomerism. Okay, here this is about the conformational isomerism. Finish. Next, in continuation, we'll see the third type of isomerism, configurational isomerism. Configurational isomerism. Three important types of isomerism. Third important type of isomerism is configurational. Isomerism. The compounds which are having same molecular formula but differ in configuration. Okay, such isomers are called configurational isomers, and the phenomenon is called configurational isomerism. Okay, the important configurational isomerisms are, okay, one is DL configuration is there, configurational isomerism is there, RS configurational isomerism is there, one more is there, erythro and trio. Erythro and trio configurational isomerisms are there. Okay, here we have three important configurational isomers: DL configurational isomers, and second one RS configurational isomers, and third one erythro and trio configurational isomerism. We'll see in continuation DL configurational isomerism. DL configurational isomerism. So what is the meaning of D? What is the meaning of L? Capital D, capital L. Okay, it is a simple one. Here last carbon, this is the last carbon or any last carbon. This carbon we called last but one carbon. Last but one carbon. Okay, here if this last but one carbon has highly electronegative group at right side. At right side. This is right side. This is left side. If highly electronegative group presented right side, we call D configuration, and such isomers are called D isomers. See here, OH and H is there. Which is more electronegative? Oxygen. So this isomer we called as D isomer. Okay, if highly electronegative group is present at left side, this system. If highly electronegative group is present at left side, such isomers are called L isomers. L isomer. This is called D isomer. This is called L isomer. What is? These are having same molecular formula but differing configuration, position, configuration of highly electronegative group. Highly electronegative group means it may be chlorine, it may be fluorine, it may be bromine, it may be iodine, it may be NO2 group, it may be OH group or any group more electronegative than hydrogen. Okay, called as DL configurational isomers, and the phenomenon we called as here DL configurational isomerism. Okay, suppose for example, okay, here I am writing, this is the Fischer structure of lactic acid. Here I wrote Fischer structure of lactic acid. These two are lactic acids. This is the last carbon. This is the last but one carbon. OH group is presented right side. Here OH group is presented left side. So what I write here? What shall I write? Okay, here D, no? Right side is there, means D lactic acid. This one left side is there, so L lactic acid. D lactic acid and L lactic acid. What is the meaning of D and what is the meaning of L? Capital D, capital A. Capital D means last but one carbon has highly electronegative group at right side. Okay, here highly electronegative. L lactic acid, highly electronegative group is present at left side. We call as L lactic acid and D-lactic acid. Okay, this is lactic acid. I am taking one more example, alanine. Alanine is one of the amino acid. Amino acid. Okay, here carbon, COOH, H, NH2, CH3. This is alanine. Hydrogen is there, NH2 is there. Which is more electronegative? Nitrogen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Here right side is present. So we called D-alanine. Here NH2. Here H, COOH. Here CH3. What we call this one? Left side is there. So I wrote like this, L-alanine. D-alanine and L-alanine. Okay, D-alanine and L-alanine. Okay, next I am taking one more example. D-glucose and L-glucose. What is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6 is the formula of glucose. Just I am writing Fischer formula of glucose. 4 carbon atoms are present here. First carbon CHO, last carbon CH2OH. Here also same 1, 2, 3, 4. First carbon CHO, last carbon CH2OH. Okay, if here OH group is present right side, here OH group left side, here OH group right side, right side. Here H, here H, here H, here H. See, OH group at last but one carbon, OH group is present at right side. Yes, na? So we called this one D-glucose. If here OH group is present at left side, remaining as usual. Remaining as usual. We called this one L-glucose. These are the D-glucose and L-glucose. Important configurational isomers. D-glucose and L-glucose. Next, take one more example. Tartaric acid. Okay, here I am writing formula of tartaric acid. COOH. COOH. Here OH. Here OH. Here H. Here H. This is called D-tartaric acid. Yes, na? D-tartaric acid. Here I am taking one more. OH. H. OH. H. COOH. COOH. Here OH group is present at left side. We call L-tartaric acid. T-tartaric acid and L-tartaric acid. Okay, here I am taking one more example. Fructose. What is the formula of fructose? C6H12O6. C6H12O6. Here I am writing fructose formula. First carbon CH2OH, C double bond O, and here as it is glucose. H, C, OH, H, C, OH, H, CH2OH. Here OH group presented right side, so we call D-fructose. And here CH2OH, C double bond O, C, OH, H, C, OH, H, C, OH, H, CH2OH. Here C, OH group is present at left side. L-fructose. Okay, DL, small capital D, capital L. Capital D, capital L. Both are the, okay, capital D, capital L, both are the, okay, here, both are the, which one? Configurational isomers. Configurational isomers. This is about the DL configurational isomerism. DL configurational isomerism. Okay, in continuation, we'll see the one more important isomerism. Okay, RS configurational isomerism. RS configurational isomerism. We'll see RS. What is the R? What is the L? Okay, RS configurational isomerism. Second one, RS. R means rectus. Rectus means anti-clockwise direction. Anti-clockwise direction. S means sinister, clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. What is anti-clockwise direction and what is clockwise direction? Okay, and one more. This is applicable for only chiral molecules. This is applicable. RS configuration mainly applicable for chiral molecules, asymmetric molecules. Okay, and a chiral molecule or symmetric molecule never exhibit. Okay, never exhibit this RS configuration. Only chiral molecule should exhibit this RS configuration. What is the meaning of R? What is the meaning of S? R means rectus, anti-clockwise direction. Okay, S means sinister, clockwise direction. Okay, here, what is the meaning of clockwise direction? What is the meaning of anti-clockwise direction? Okay, here we give the priority based on the CIP rules. We give here priority based on the CIP rules. What are those CIP rules? Kohn, Ingold, Prideaux rules. Kohn, Ingold, Prideaux rules. Okay, in EJ nomenclature, we discussed all those CIP rules in EJ nomenclature or EJ, okay, geometrical isomerism. Okay, priority order is present clockwise direction that we call S, configurational isomer. If priority order is present in anti-clockwise direction, we call R isomer. S isomer and R isomer. Okay, here I am taking one molecule. Okay, I am taking one chiral molecule. Okay, here A is there, here B is there, here what D is there, here H is there. H always leads to priority, fourth priority. A is the first priority, B is the second priority, D is the third priority. Okay, always leave fourth priority group. Okay, this priority order is present clockwise direction. So, this isomer we called S isomer. If priority order present A, B, H, D. H is the always least prior group. A first priority, B second priority, D third priority, H is fourth priority. If priority order present like this, anti-clockwise direction, okay, that isomer we called R isomer. That isomer we called as R isomer. Rectus isomer, S isomer. Okay, here I will take some examples. You take lactic acid. Okay, in stereochemistry or in isomerism chemistry, chemistry of isomerism. The important examples of this: alanine, lactic acid, tartaric acid. Okay, here I am writing D2 lactic acids, CH3, sorry, COOH, OH, H, and one more here I am writing OH, COOH, H, CH3. Give the priority to the groups based on CAP rules. First, what are the CAP rules? What are the CAP rules? Give the priority to groups based on the atomic number. Which has more atomic number? Which has more atomic number? That gets the first priority. Okay, here we have number of atoms. Carbon is there here. Hydrogen is there. Here carbon is there. Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen. Which has more atomic number? Oxygen has more atomic number. So give the first priority. Then here carbon is there. Here carbon is there. Having same atomic number, atomic mass also same. Then see the next atom. Here next atom is hydrogen. Here next atom is oxygen. So oxygen has more atomic number than the hydrogen. So give the preference to priority to this one, second priority. This is always last priority. Leave it. Okay, this is third priority group. Here also give first priority, second priority group, third priority group, fourth priority group. The priority groups are arranged here. First, here like this. Which direction? This one, anti-clockwise direction. Here, priority group present like this. Leave fourth always. This is the priority group, clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. So here priority groups are present in anti-clockwise direction means R isomer. This we called R and D. Right side is there. R D lactic acid. If priority groups are present in clockwise direction, okay, which group is present at left side. So we called we called S here and here L lactic acid. Okay, R D lactic acid. What is the R? Priority groups are present in clockwise direction. What is the D? What is D? Here OH group is present at right side. Here OH group is present at left side. And priority groups are all present in a clockwise direction. Priority groups are present in a clockwise direction. This is the simple one and RS configuration. RS configurational isomerism. We'll see some more important example for the RS configurational isomerism. R means rectus, okay, anti-clockwise direction. If priority groups are arranged in a anti-clockwise direction, we call here or configuration. Priority groups are present in clockwise direction, we call sister S configuration. Okay, here I am taking one more example, alanine. Alanine also one of the amino acid. Here I am writing alanine, NH2, here COOH, here CH3, here H. This is alanine. Okay, here I am writing one more, NH2, COOH, H, CH3. Give the priority to these groups. All are there. Hydrogen fourth priority. Always we give hydrogen fourth priority. Okay, and leave the fourth priority group. Only consider only three important groups. What are those? First, second, third. First, nitrogen and carbon atoms are present here. Which has more atomic number? Nitrogen has more atomic number, so give first preference. Carbon is there. Next atom, oxygen is there, here hydrogen is there. This is the second preference, this is the third preference. Here also first preference, second preference, third preference. Okay, periodic order present like this, anti-clockwise direction. Periodic order is present like this, clockwise direction. If periodic groups are arranged in a anti-clockwise direction, we call R isomer. If periodic groups are present in a clockwise direction, we call S isomer. We called S isomer, R isomers and S isomers. To take any one, for one more example, 2-bromobutane. This is also chiral molecule. 2-bromobutane. Okay, here I am taking one more. This is also 2-bromobutane. Which 2-bromobutane? R2-bromobutane or S2-bromobutane? 2-bromobutane. See, give the priority to chiral carbon only. Don't give the priority to any other. Chiral carbon. Here bromine is there, hydrogen always least priority. Always least priority. Then bromine first priority. Atomic number of bromine is 35. So first priority. Then carbon is there, here carbon is there. So both are having same atomic number, atomic mass. Here hydrogen is there, next atom is carbon is there. So give the preference to this one, second preference to this one. Here give the preference to third. Leave the fourth group. See the periodic order. Which direction? Like this. Which direction? Like this. Like this. Sorry. Like this. Like this means clockwise direction. Clockwise direction. Clockwise direction means S isomer. What we call 2-bromo, S2-bromobutane. This is R2-bromobutane. See, periodic order 1, here 2, here 3. Periodic order present like this, anti-clockwise direction. So this we call R, this we call S. One is R, one is S. And see the RS configurational isomerism in tartaric acid. RS configurational isomerism in tartaric acid. Okay, the number of isomers. Okay, next video we'll see RS configurational isomerism of tartaric acid and along with the erythroin trio. Thank you.